get to a point where you truly understand that it's not just about you and your personal development story. It's beyond that. It is also about what is required for that role. Do you have it? What is required for you to get that business? What is required for you to scale your business? What is required for your pitch to be successful? What is required for you to land a promotion? What is required for you to get your kids into the school that you want them to get into? What is required? Not what is the version of you from yesterday versus version of you today. That's not the conversation, because you could still be trailing behind what is required. Let me hold your hands when I say this. You are not only in competition with the version of yourself from yesterday. In the real life, when it comes to reality, you are in competition with other people who want exactly what you want. Let me say that again. You are not only in competition with the version of yourself from yesterday, you are also in competition with those who want exactly the same thing that you want. And in any endeavor in life, there is always a minimum entry requirement. Always. Because if there was no threshold, then it means that the opportunities are unlimited. And that is never the case, because the resources are typically limited in nature. Supply limited, demand abundant. And you're part of the people making the demand on a new life, on a next level. You're part of the people making that demand. But there are many people making the demand on that life. But that kind of life is only available to those who can hit the threshold and surpass it. I'll give you an example. A few years ago, I tried to apply for a promotion, and I genuinely felt I had done enough. I mean, I've grown. I've picked up more projects. I've done just about some things I would never have thought about doing. I've unshelled. I've spoken up more confidently. I have read. I have changed how I work with my teams. I have upgraded. Like, if you look at my life, I have upgraded. Over the last maybe a year, 6 months to a year, I have upgraded. But then when the results of the whole process came through, I was told I didn't get a promotion. And I was heartbroken. I was like, what else do you want? I've done everything I needed to do. And then I asked, why didn't I get a promotion? And he's like, all right, you did an excellent job. No doubts about that. But there were other people with stronger cases who got the promotion. In that instant, you would think I didn't know before that if I pursued something and I didn't get it, there were some people who would get it. You would think I didn't understand that. But in that moment, there was this full-blown, full-circle realization of life works differently from your psychology class sometimes, or from your motivational class. Life, the real world, works differently. And in my mind, I'm like, what is this? And then I began to unpack it. So, number one, I don't have a view as to what other people around me are doing. I don't even know who else is going to be competing with me. I don't know what they're doing. I don't know how to benchmark myself against them. This is going to be difficult. So let's say the version that is required to get a pass, to get the deal, to get the promotion, to land a new job. Let's say the version required of you is version 10, but your you of yesterday is version 5. So you've moved from version 5 to version 7. You still do not cut the version 10 required. That alone in itself made me change my worldview as to how I view the things I want to achieve in my life. If I want to achieve it, then I have to be strong enough to hit the minimum required threshold. When I was writing my CFA exams, I failed a couple of attempts. And consistently on some of those attempts, I saw that I was sitting somewhere on a thin line, just below the minimum passing score, the MPS. I was just sitting pretty there. All I needed was maybe a few more couple of hours of study and understanding what I was studying, and probably a few more discipline, and I would eat it. But attempt after attempt, I was just sitting there. Nothing was changing. I wasn't changing, or maybe I was changing, but my change was very minuscule compared to what was required. The exam body did not say, "Oh, she has really improved," from last year when she took the exam, and now she has really improved. Let us pass her. They didn't say that. They were like, "Sorry, you failed." Until something changes, you will continue to fail because there are other people who are doing way more, and they are not just passing; they are like top there, because usually when they show us the graph, they also show us the graph of those who are on the 90th percentile, like not like the person, but they pitch it to show what the 90th percentile look like, where they will be standing. So where I am staying compared to where the people on the 90th percentile are standing is like heaven to earth, day and night. So I just knew there was more to do. It doesn't matter whether I studied more hours, I did whatever. If I did not meet the passing score, the minimum passing score, I didn't. And in several areas of my life, I have experienced this type of things as well. So you need to get to a point where you truly understand that it's not just about you and your personal development story. It's beyond that. It is also about what is required for that role. What is required for that role? Do you have it? What is required for you to get that business? What is required for you to scale your business? What is required for your pitch to be successful? What is required for you to land a promotion? What is required for you to get your kids into the school that you want them to get into? What is required? Not what is a version of you from yesterday versus version of you today. That's not the conversation, because you could still be trailing behind what is required. So the question is, what do I not know yet that I now need to know to change the game for me and to change my life? Let me tell you, if there's one fear that I have, I wouldn't say it's not really like fear, but it's like concern, is that is there an information out there that I need to know right now, that I need to implement right now, and that will change my life? It's just usually a concern from like, I don't want to get to tomorrow or 5 years from now, and then I realize that, oh, I was doing it wrong. And it is okay if I'm still doing it wrong, but especially if the information was available, but I just did not see it, or I just did not know it, or I was so sure that whatever I was doing was okay. So you must think about the minimum. What is the minimum required for you to hit that threshold you're looking for? So as you continue your personal development, also think about, what is that thing I'm looking out to do? What are others doing that is helping them hit it? And that's why I would always say to my coaches, do you know what's going on? Have you surveyed? Do you know what is required? Have you asked when you're going for an interview with a company? Have you asked, do you know someone who works there? Do you know someone who has interviewed for the same role? What is their experience like? What can they share about their experience at the interview? Do you know exactly what you may be asked? Or do you have an idea of what you may be asked? You need to be thinking like that. And I mean, even in my own line of work, when we are assessing an organization, generally to understand the risks around the organization, beyond the understanding using their numbers and all of that, what's going on in the economy, to do the assessment, we also look at competitor analysis to see what are their peers doing. Because it's so key, it's so important. If they are doing something entirely different from what their peers are doing, and that is causing, or that has led to them underperforming their peers, that speaks volume as to how the organization is being led, the values, culture. That speaks a lot of volume. So you need to take a couple of steps back and look in and say, what are others doing? Is there new technology I need to be onboarding? Is there a new process I need to be thinking about? Is there a new system? Do I need to learn something? Do I need to take a course? Do I need to get a coach on my side? What do I need to do differently to hit the minimum required entry, the minimum entry requirement? What do I need to do? I hope this video has been helpful for you and you've enjoyed it the way I have created it. If you want to work with me, you want to join my community, the Career Mastery Hub, please click the link in the description box and you can join my community or work with me if you choose to. Please like, share, and comment on this video, and I'm more than happy to engage with you. Thank you so much, and I'll see you in the next one.